Hey everyone! So, you've probably seen this word popping up all over your social media feeds, coolcation. But is this a real, fundamental shift in how we travel, or is it just a catchy buzzword that'll be gone by next year? Today, we're going to dig into the data and find out if we're all about to start chasing the chill.
Okay, so first things first, what exactly is a coolcation? Well, the definition is pretty simple. It's basically planning a trip specifically to find a cooler, more comfortable climate. Think of it as swapping a sweltering beach in the middle of July for, say, the crisp air of the Norwegian fjords or the Scottish Highlands.
And the story we're being told is massive. The media is framing this as the single biggest travel trend of the year. The travelers are fleeing the sun in droves and completely redrawing the world tourism map as we know it.
But is that the whole story? Are we really watching a full-blown travel revolution, or is this maybe just a little bit of media hype? Well, that's the big question we're going to tackle.
All right, let's start by building the case for the coolcation. If this trend is real, what's the actual evidence? Why are people suddenly so interested in chasing the chill?
Well, the main driver is something that's pretty much impossible to ignore. For the last few summers, our favorite hotspots in Southern Europe have been getting hammered by record-breaking heat waves and, in some cases, truly devastating wildfires. This isn't just a minor inconvenience. It's a real safety issue that's ruining vacations.
Just look at this number, 48 degrees Celsius. That's nearly 119 Fahrenheit. That was the temperature recorded in Sicily during the 2023 heat waves. I mean, when your dream vacation spot starts to feel more like an oven, it makes total sense that you'd start looking for a cooler option.
And this isn't just a feeling people have. You can actually see it in the data. Google Trends shows a 300% year-over-year jump in searches for things like cooler holidays. Now, that's not just a small bump. That's a huge spike in curiosity, and it tells us that travelers' priorities are really starting to change.
And that curiosity is turning into actual money spent. Check out this data from the airline SAS for next summer. Bookings to Norway are absolutely surging. Kristiansand is up 52%, Stavanger is up 38%, and just look at flights from France to Norway, they've jumped 22%. People aren't just browsing, they are buying tickets. And you better believe the airlines are paying close attention. As the chief analyst at SAS put it, Scandinavia's cool climate used to be a disadvantage. Now, it's become a key selling point. That's a complete 180 in how these places are marketed.
So all of this really points to a much deeper shift in what we as travelers actually want. A survey from the luxury travel network Virtuoso is super telling. A whopping 82% of their clients now say climate security is important. And look at what's putting them off. 63% are actively trying to avoid places with extreme heat and crowds. The evidence for the coolcation trend seems pretty rock solid.
But that's only one side of the coin. Now, let's look at the counter-argument, that for all the buzz, this is really just media hype.
Okay, here's the single biggest problem with the coolcation theory. While all those northern destinations are growing, so are the hot ones. Spain, for instance, just had a record-breaking year for tourism. So if everyone is supposed to be fleeing the heat, why are the hottest places more packed than ever?
This leaves us with two competing theories. On one side, you have the coolcation theory. People are actively choosing north over south to escape the heat. But on the other side, you have the counter-argument, hey, travel's just booming everywhere after the pandemic, and this growth up north is just a small piece of a much larger pie.
Because the reality is, temperature is only one of many factors. I mean, could the rise of northern travel just be because social media made places like Norway's Lofoten Islands a bucket list must-see? Or maybe it's as simple as better flight deals. It's also really possible that people are trying to escape the insane crowds of the Med, not just the heat. And a lot of people are just moving their trips to the cooler, cheaper shoulder seasons like May or September.
And here's another little wrinkle. Heading north doesn't guarantee you'll escape a heat wave. As one CNN article bluntly put it, you might just end up sweating buckets on your Arctic getaway. So much for that cool, refreshing paradise, right? So where does that leave us? Is it real or is it hype? Well, the truth, as it so often is probably somewhere in the middle. Maybe the whole coolcation debate is less about a single trend and more of a sign that a much bigger shift in travel is underway.
It's actually fascinating to see how quickly a buzzword can start to reflect reality. The term coolcation was only coined in late 2023. But then, after that brutal summer heat, it just exploded. It got so popular it was even added to the dictionary. And by this summer, we started to see the booking data that actually backed it up. The word basically just captured a feeling that was already there. So, you see, it's not a simple yes or no question. The real story here isn't about whether coolcation is the perfect word. The debate itself is what's so important, because it proves that tourism is in the middle of a massive evolution. Think of the coolcation idea as just one chapter in a much bigger story. It fits perfectly with these other huge shifts we're seeing: the move towards sustainable travel, the boom in off-peak travel, and the search for rural escapes far away from the crowds. It's all part of this bigger movement toward more conscious, intentional travel. And you can see the entire industry is being forced to adapt. Look at these strategies. Northern Europe is going all in on year-round ecotourism. Southern Europe is pushing its beautiful spring and fall seasons like never before. And island destinations are trying to diversify away from just the beach, promoting things like hiking and stargazing. The whole map is changing.
So, let's bring it all home. What is the bottom line for your next vacation?
Here it is. This is the key takeaway. Forget the buzzwords for a second. The real story is that climate is no longer just the pretty backdrop for our holiday photos. It's becoming the main character. It's actively shaping where we go, when we go, and what we do once we get there.
This isn't just a passing trend. This is the start of a new reality for how we explore our world. Which really leaves us all with one final question to think about. As our planet changes, how will your travels change with it? Thanks for watching.